The Adams County Sheriff kicked down my door. Then I heard the glass break. They found no kidnapping victims, just some lemon pound cake. Mama's lemon pound cake. It tastes so nice. It made the sheriff wanna put down his gun and cut him a slice.
Of what? Of what?
Lemon pound cake. He wanna put down his block. Lemon pound cake. Trending on TikTok. Lemon pound cake. He's a family guy. Lemon pound cake. The munchies because he got hot. Lemon pound cake. Pound cake. He's a Adams County Sheriff. He's hungry and he's big as hell. He was sniffing for weed. Then he smelled another smell.
What was that?
Mama's lemon pound cake. It tastes so nice. It made the sheriff wanna put down his gun and cut him a slice.
Of what? Of what?
Lemon pound cake. He wanna put down his Glock. Lemon pound cake. Trending on TikTok. Lemon pound cake. He's a family guy. Lemon pound cake. The munchies because he got high. Lemon pound cake. Pound cake. He sees my cake and my porno mag call boom boom. Something happened to his camera on the way to the evidence room. Mama's lemon pound cake. It tastes so nice. Make the sheriff wanna put down his gun and cut him a slice.
Of what? Of what?
Lemon pound cake. He wanna put down his Glock. Lemon pound cake. Trending on TikTok. Lemon pound cake. He's a family guy. Lemon pound cake. The munchies because he got high. Lemon pound cake. Pound cake. Lemon pound cake. He wanna put down his Glock. Lemon pound cake. Trending on TikTok. Lemon pound cake. He's a family guy. Lemon pound cake. The munchies because he got high. Lemon pound cake. Pound cake.
Tonight, we are going to witness the most anticipated match in the history of professional wrestling for the heavyweight championship of the world. Are you ready? Wrestling fans, are you ready? For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, from the capital city of the United States of America, Washington, D.C., ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
All right, guys. Sorry, I have too much fun with the little match cut videos. Catherine's running a little late this evening, but she will be on. Possibly around 7:30-ish. But if she's anything like Christopher Bilbrey time, then it might be a little later. So, hey guys, I see MLM Warriors is with us. Here, let's. What's up? So I had to use that Afro Man little clip just because it was funny. And he actually did. So we have to give a shout out and congratulations to Afro Man for winning that case. So just an example of, lemon pound cake. He did eye it, though. I don't care. That was some funny stuff. And then, I don't plan on making any songs about anybody. I really was trying to run a clean race. I do believe that Catherine also wants to run a clean race. We're trying to stay on the facts. We're trying to show everybody the facts. The fact still remains. I don't know if any of you were on the clip before it cut out last Thursday. I got Linda Smith, the clerk, to kind of spaz out because they haven't adjudicated any of my election complaints. Okay. Well, see, I thought about that, right? But see, I can go back and edit it out. So it's just something funny for whoever caught it and got to see it, because I'm getting ready to put on another one, but the other one isn't really a song, so I don't know if it'll get cut out, but at least everybody that gets to tune in the next 5 to 10 minutes will get to see some of the beginning clips. And yeah, so I already got a couple copyrights on my other videos. So this week, after I get done with the Ryan Troub thing, there's actually a couple things I have to deal with this week. And sometimes you just have to hit things head on. And so that's kind of what me and Catherine were having to do today, because we've been attacked. And it's just weird, you guys, because this didn't happen last time. In 2024, I mean, she had some haters. Okay. She had some haters and we dealt with them. They wouldn't let us post in their groups. So that's kind of how, let me show you. That's kind of how Heads Up started. And the chatter networks. So I'll just kind of let you see this. So Catherine pushed me. She pushed me to create this really cool network. Okay. So whatever, it is what it is. We're up over 30,000 users on the platform. They may not always jump in at the same time and talk, but my original profile has, I'll just show you, has this is our chatter network. And this is how we get to share our information, because when we first started, and I don't know if any of you were in that episode where we talked about how we met, but when I worked on our campaign, nobody would let us post her stuff in their group. So, I mean, we have been fighting people limiting our, I don't know if I already did these. I'm going to go ahead and put it up. But we've been fighting freedom of speech rights for a really long time. And so some of the, let me see this. I got squirreled because I was reading something from Karen. Sorry, guys. Good. Could make song name yellow cake, concentrated uranium made in Iran. Ooh. Interesting. Okay. So what I want to do, I did Afro Man. I did that one. Let's go with this one. So the reason why I want to put these in is because it's just easier to have somebody else kind of break down what is, what isn't, and then all of us come in later and talk about it was kind of the thing. So just a little blip before we go into it. In our opinion, some lines have been crossed because of information that's getting put out. When we do things, usually in 95 to 97% of the time, we're both spot on our topics. And we're not perfect. We're human. We don't get everything right, but we do recant our statements, and we do apologize for statements when they're proven, wrong. So that being said, That's kind of how we got to where we're at right now, because some things have been said about my friend from a professional level where they're attacking, well, and she's a candidate, and some of it is considered free speech, but some of it's considered hate speech. And where do you draw the line? You know, and we're used to dealing with all these, like, I don't know, just regular disgruntled people. So when you get a whole bunch of fake accounts attacking you back to back to back, it's almost like it feels kind of like professional hits. And you've always heard these stories, like, I can't remember if it was the Charlie Kirk one or the, what's the other lady? Oh, she's made everybody mad here lately. The black lady, Candace Owens. And one of them, when I was watching their videos, showed how people get paid to hit, you know, and create these fake profiles, and then they go after you on them. That's kind of like, we've had, I think, 10 plus fake profiles attacking us in the last 2 weeks. And then finally, we had got some of it shut down, because when you're using a fake profile, technically, it's like you don't have unlimited rights as someone using their real name. So, with that being said, Ryan Troub came out and started saying a bunch of really mean stuff about my friend connected to somebody's death. So, with that, I'm going to go ahead and roll this, and then hopefully by the time this one's over, Catherine will be on here. If not, then we'll just talk with, you know, whoever's here. I got some good articles to go over from Fox 59. A couple other really heavy hitters, and an email that I sent out today. I did contact the elected officials for many different reasons, which I'll read that off here in a minute. So for now, I'm going to play this little clip because it's from PBS. So I feel like it's at least I don't know. I liked it anyway. So here you go.
The 3 rules of hate speech. Rule 1. The First Amendment protects all ideas, loving, hateful, or in between. In the United States, hate speech is just a political label, like un-American speech or rude speech. Some people use the phrase broadly, some more narrowly, but there's no legal definition because there is no hate speech exception to the First Amendment. As the Supreme Court held in 1974, under the First Amendment there is no such thing as a false idea. However pernicious an opinion may seem, we depend for its correction not on the conscience of judges and juries, but on the competition of other ideas. Or in 2017, the proudest boast of our free speech jurisprudence is that we protect the freedom to express the thought that we hate. That's from Mattel v. Tam, in which the government denied a trademark to an Asian American band because the band's name, the Slants, was seen by some as a racial slur. The government wasn't even trying to ban the name, it was just denying a generally available benefit, trademark registration, to people who used the name. But even that, the court concluded, was unconstitutional viewpoint discrimination and thus violated the First Amendment. Rule 2. Some speech is not protected by the First Amendment, but that's true regardless of whether it's bigoted or hateful. For instance, threats of violence are constitutionally unprotected. That includes all threats, racist threats, threats of police officers, business owners, the president, anyone. Likewise, intentionally inciting immediate violence is sometimes punishable. Classic example, giving a speech to a mob outside a building, urging them to burn it down. But again, it doesn't matter if the speech is outside a synagogue, a police station, or a recycling center. Personal insults said to someone's face might also be punishable as so-called fighting words. Again, though, that's true regardless of whether the insults stem from personal hostility or group hatred related to race, religion, and the like. Indeed, in 1992, the Supreme Court struck down an ordinance that specifically targeted bigoted fighting words. Rule 3. Hate crime laws are constitutional so long as they punish violence or vandalism, not speech. The classic example is Wisconsin v. Mitchell, the 1993 case in which the Supreme Court unanimously upheld hate crime laws. Todd Mitchell, a black man, urged some friends to beat up a white boy because the boy was white. Wisconsin law made the beating into a more serious crime because the boy was targeted based on his race. The court said this is fine because a physical assault is not by any stretch of the imagination expressive conduct protected by the First Amendment. And while the law increased the punishment because of the defendant's intent, the law often punishes people more because of why they did what they did. Killing someone for money will get you a harsher punishment than killing them out of momentary anger. Likewise, firing an employee because of his race will get you a civil lawsuit. Firing an employee for most other reasons won't. None of this covers the mere expression of hateful ideas or the use of words that some see as hateful. Those are indeed generally protected by the First Amendment. But why? The justices generally agree that racist ideas, for instance, are wrong and dangerous. Why would the justices say hate speech is constitutionally protected? Because they don't trust government officials to decide which ideas are wrong and dangerous. They worry that if government officials had the power to ban evil ideas, that power would quickly stretch to punishing a wide range of debate and dissent, and they see the First Amendment as requiring that distrust. In the words of Justice Black, echoed by the Supreme Court in 1972, the freedoms guaranteed by the First Amendment must be accorded to the ideas we hate, or sooner or later they will be denied to the ideas we cherish. So to sum up, there is no hate speech exception to the First Amendment. Threats of violence and incitement to violence are not protected, but that has nothing to do with their hateful content. And hate crime laws can punish violence or vandalism based on the offender targeting particular groups, but that doesn't allow punishment of supposed hate speech. This is not legal advice. If this were legal advice, it would be followed by a bill. Please use responsibly. Written by Eugene Volokh, who is an actual real-life First Amendment law professor at UCLA.
I'm Eugene Volokh, and I approve this message.
You guys, that wasn't the video I wanted, but I went ahead and let it go. I was hoping she'd be on by now. So, why are we here to this pivotal moment in time? Because I feel like some people don't understand basic definitions. It's like we got a Webster's dictionary, folks, when we were kids. All of us had to use one when we were younger. And, you know, if you're on the internet, most likely you can Google stuff to learn information. So one of the tactics being used recently is what I would consider a Darvo tactic. Let me read the definition, and then I'm going to go over there. So let me just read this off. I'll go ahead and share this, and we'll come back to that NDA. Okay. So I know everybody can say stuff about ChatGPT and get on to me, but I use it, and I've named it Jarvis because it helps me figure stuff out. So if I'm wrong, it tells me sometimes I'm wrong. Okay, that's what I like about it. It doesn't always. Yeah. Karen says she's by herself over there, and Catherine's not here yet, so I'm still stuck in the talk trying to get some information out to everybody. So Karen says, if you're on there and you want to chit chat, come. Yeah, the two chicks. www. Let me put that banner on before I start reading. Okay, here we go. Is that the one I like? Two chicks. Okay, let's do this one. Okay. So let's go back over here to Darvo. So I don't know if any of you have ever had this tactic done to you, but it's not fun. Yeah, it's one chick right now. Well, actually, you can't hear it in the background, but I do happen to have baby chicks right now. What's up, Terry? Okay, see, we're getting viewers. Howdy. We're getting ready to get into. I've been stalling trying to get Catherine. She had to go to Hobby Lobby before she got home this evening. So I was just trying to go over some of the stuff that got us to this pivotal moment today. She was gone all last week, and we didn't really want to tell anybody because whatever. And then we got attacked by all kinds of fake profiles. Hold on. My Chihuahua is going crazy. All right, I'm back. I had to mute for a second because I had to tell her to be quiet, and I didn't want to yell on my microphone. Takes time to people. Yeah, sometimes it does, because I've realized that now that we're on the StreamYard platform, that sometimes it's lagging. So it puts one up, and then after that, it puts another one and another one. And so we're streaming right now from 3 YouTube channels and 5 Facebooks, because it's helping get the information out. Yes, just drive safe, Catherine. Let me put that one on. So hopefully if she goes back and watches these. See, I thought it did. I thought it had a slow delay. So that's why it helps when you have two people or even 3 or 4, because somebody can always stay at the talk and watch the comments. And sometimes you'll notice I squirrel a little bit depending on our topics. Yeah. And that's why I was like, I put such a big gap on the thing today to tell people, it'd be 7:30, but it's 7:38. See, she definitely doesn't have military time, because I'm usually 10 minutes early to the 10 minutes. Yeah, rookie mistake. Yeah. We're FNGs. Flipping new gals. All right, I'm going to read this here. So I don't know if any of you have ever had to deal with someone that does this tactic, but we had some stuff going on. And then he finally came out. And good to know, Karen. That's cool. So anyway, Ryan Troub finally came out and started using his own profile. And we're going to get into a little bit of the nitty gritty that I can talk about that Catherine can't, because there's a couple lawsuits with NDAs. So I just want to put this information out here for the people that are going to come kind of cyber stalk us a little bit. But this is the information I would use if I was in a debate room at a table. So, okay, public statement. False accusations and Darvo tactics. Let's be clear for the public record. A government employee has chosen to publicly make false and misleading accusations against a current candidate. These statements are not based on verified facts, documented evidence, or official findings. They are opinion-driven narrative presented as truth. So they got just enough truth to seem like it's real. But then I have been asking Ryan Troub to present his documents since 2023. So it's not like we haven't said, hey, if you got it, then, play your docs. You play your doc, we'll show you our docs. But now he went to the extreme and started attacking us. I think it was Friday. Hail, Danny. I think it was last Friday. He kind of, whatever, back over here. But it started like Thursday or Friday. And then it's went into the weekend. I started getting screenshots yesterday. And now Ryan has been threatening other people because they oppose what he's saying. So, and then MLM Warrior says, I try to tell coworkers there's a delay. Yeah. Reason why do you get to concert early to get a good seat? Yeah. So, okay, back over here. So this tactic I feel like is being used. We got all the screenshots. He started it, and then he started playing victim. Like we were being mean because we asked him for. Yeah, we just asked him for, back it with evidence. Like, and Catherine, she swears up and down, and she'll come in and tell her side if she can or what she can talk about. But like, I've had to go study this stuff to make sure, and I have dug through the paperwork, and the timeline just doesn't match up. So it's not fair to put something on her that is not her fault. Coroners don't get called. Coroner doctor doesn't get called because somebody's sick and laying in bed. They're usually dead when, by the time the coroner gets called. So to blame the coroner for anything or a deputy coroner because of grief is just a whole nother evil level. Yeah, her rant today, it got me going. That's why I got it recorded so we could have it stored on our hard drives or our system, because we got to capture this stuff. After 30 days, Meta deletes the videos now. So, okay. So this tactic that I noticed and why I stopped talking was when the Darvo tactic came out, because I'm dealing with someone that's in a peer recovery role, working for the city, talking about my friend and candidate, Catherine. And I just, I stood up for her. And for that, he has totally went overboard and made it seem like I was saying something that I wasn't. I was telling him to be careful with his words because he was saying that Catherine, he's talking about he played here. I'm just going to pop this up. So he played a news article that we're going to come back to. It's this one right here. Okay. He played this news article. But this news article was from May 17th, 2023. The man in this story, one of them, died in March of 2023. Well, she was the whistleblower, Madison County facing 22.5K fine for several violations at the coroner's office. Okay, that was Dr. Abbott by that time. Okay, so to continually blame Catherine for something that Dr. Abbott did, the former coroner, that's just so mean, and then so now we have to talk about something that really is an uncomfortable subject to talk about, and we're not here because we want to be here. We're kind of here because it's like we got to put something out. Yeah, hold on here. So yeah, two chicks with mics. So so back over here. So when I tried to rebuttal what he was saying, he took it as I was threatening him with something else. So I recognize this tactic because I've dealt with narcissists and people in recovery. Well, when you give a dog enough rope, it'll hang itself. So it's kind of funny that we might not be able to get into everything that happened today, but we're going to be able to get into a lot. But this tactic is being used, this Darvo tactic, by a peer recovery coach. And we have a right to ask certain questions. So when he struck, it just, okay, well, let's see what you guys are over there doing. What are you so heated about? Because we've never attacked him we have never made an accusation that somebody was responsible for somebody else's death or their botched autopsy. Okay. We've never done that. That is an extreme morbid, what are you talking about kind of thing. So anyway, back to this. Here's what that looks like in real time. Deny making false or harmful statements, attack the person responding or defending themselves, reverse roles to portray themselves as the victim. That's not civil engagement. Okay, it's not like most adults, in my experience, are able to talk to each other at some point. Like there's this, maybe we got to go away from each other for a day or 2, 3, 7, 4. I don't know. I have some people that I haven't spoke to for 6 months on things, and then they come back around and we talk about it. But, everybody's different. Just, depends on a person's trauma level and just what they've had to deal with. Because after some other stuff that's happened, Aaron told me to stop being so nice to people and kind and loving, because I always get my feelings hurt. And it's like, I can't, because that's what I needed when I grew up. So I'm just I'm just shining light and love to people that other people might not pay attention to. But then I also get hit a lot because I'm friends with Catherine. I get the collateral damage. So he started saying that we attack people. So, that's one thing. If any of you are watching, I would like to know, and I've sent the email out, and we'll talk about the email in a minute, but I want to know about this list of people that we've attacked. Ryan Troub has made the statement that we attack people all the time. So I would like those names. I asked his boss, or I asked the elected officials and all them to help me get some information. So there will be more to come from this situation. But here, asking questions is not harassment. Okay. Responding with facts is not intimidation. Defending your name is not wrongdoing. Okay. Because there's another video of a guy, I can't think of the movie, but he's like, it's my name. You know, that's our name. It's all we got sometimes, you know. And so she wants to protect her honor. And in the Japanese culture part of her, they are very honor-based type people. So, you know, why are all these guys picking on Catherine? It's kind of weird. And then I just get the blunt of it, and that's just like, we're full-grown adults. Why can't we just sit down and talk? You know, and they don't want to. So knowingly making false statements about a candidate can cross into defamation under Indiana law. Okay. Now, he tried to say that he knew his rights and he knew what our rights were as candidates. And he's obviously never heard me speak at any of these meetings when I'm claiming freedom of speech and that we should be given at least 3 minutes to talk. And it's mind-boggling. So anyway, I've been fighting for that. So for him to say that we're trying to silence him, no, it's just at that point where he starts making us feel threatened, we have to kind of push him away for a little bit because he's posted stuff. So anyway, we'll get to that maybe. Using a government position or perceived authority to influence public opinion with false information raises serious ethical concerns. Weaponizing victimhood to avoid accountability undermines public trust. You know what? It kind of is a little bit, but Ryan Troub already works in the Madison County Health Department as a peer recovery something. So I APRA'd his job title and what else? I put out 10. We're going to talk about that in a minute. So we'll get back to that in a minute. We'll circle back. But he does. It's kind of like a Randy, but this one's a little bit more scary. You got a 6 foot tall dude that has a record, a rap sheet that shows him as a violent felon. I don't understand why he hasn't been in prison for some of the stuff he's gotten in trouble for, because my brother and my half sister and let's just them as examples, which Ryan knows. I think my half sister's up in jail right now. Okay. Cause she's still suffering from addiction. And my half brother is sober and living good. Let's see. Christopher will ditch Japanese culture and saves China credit. That's right. That's right. He did, didn't he? And that was funny. Christmas episode. That was funny. So, okay, back to both parties have equal constitutional rights. So this is what I tell people all the time. Just because we're candidates doesn't mean that we don't that we have more rights or less rights. So I don't understand this. How some people get this superior type attitude toward candidates. I ask uncomfortable questions because the elected officials have failed me as a combat veteran. So to me, I have a right to ask them certain questions because my feelings are hurt because nobody came to help me when my property and the politician tried to steal it. So that's kind of how kind of thrust me into this activism circle where me and Catherine finally met. But anyway, we all, no matter what, politician or not politician, a civvy. Now, we don't go after civilians like this, okay, normally. But Ryan works for the government, and he's on the government clock, tax time, like our tax dollars are paying for him to goof around and attack us whenever he feels like it. So this is like day 2 or 3 where he's supposedly at work attacking us on Facebook. It's whatever. Some other stuff's coming, but we'll talk about that later. Okay, so this right here is important. He does not, we both have equal constitutional rights, including the right to speak, but those rights do not protect knowingly false statements presented as fact, nor do they shield individuals from accountability. And then there's kind of this, because Catherine was so caught up with being the coroner and stuff, like, did he get leaked information or did somebody tell him something that they weren't supposed to, and he's kind of got it wrong in his head. I don't know, but he was going off on everybody today, and it was just sad. Hey, Alva. Still waiting on Catherine, but I decided to get on. Oh, bam, Alva. You must be my good luck charm. Uh-oh.
See,
There you go. I was on. I'm already on.
is my lighting crazy?
Let me pull this down. No.
Okay, listen. What are you guys talking about?
Well, I was talking about the Darvo tactics that Ryan Troub was using against us. And the last thing I had said, I let him watch the clips. I don't know. We might get a copyright infringement on this one, but I will edit it and get the rest of it up this week. But we're on to Darvo, and this part is both parties have equal constitutional rights, including the right to speak, but those rights do not protect knowingly false statements presented as fact, nor do they shield individuals from accountability. And so I was just telling them that, and I'll just read this and we'll go to one of the articles, but we will continue to document everything that Ryan or whoever the fake profiles are, like Lady of Madison County, what'd you say, Steve Hart? And then there's another.
Steve Hart's another one. I don't know. We've got a lot. I mean, there's probably about 6 of them. There's only half a dozen, which I really don't. I mean, for as much as we put out, I will say this: it's actually not bad. So I feel like we really put out good information, because we would have a lot more that were against us, but I don't think it's bad at all. So
I know they're bumping our posts. So even if they're hating on us, they're bumping
thousands with it.
Man, okay, so Anderson, Indiana, the current events, we're already up to almost another 1,000 in the last week.
Yeah, well, so I just posted in listen, here's what I want to say. Breaking news. Sorry to interrupt this program, but Troub's old news. Let him do what he wants. We'll send him. He's going to kill himself. What I need people to do for the Ryan Troub situation, I need you to send an email to Beatrice Ramey and Stephanie Mellinger and Jeff Graham, and we will get those emails up. And I need you to send a message that just says, what is the process for a formal complaint on an employee? That's all I need. Because I've asked this several times, and I have several complaints against Ryan, and I've kind of just let it go by the wayside, but all of it's within a 2-year time period, so we should be able to bring it all back up. But nobody will tell me how to make a formal complaint. And that's what becomes a big problem. So there really should be a process for this, so we'll work on that. But that's kind of where I'm at with Ryan. He's gotten enough energy and time. I think that there were some amazing ladies on Facebook today who did a great job at, asking for hard documents, which he just couldn't produce. Right?
Yeah,
but
he kept saying he was going to produce them, and it's like, dude, no. If you were going to produce them, you would have already produced them in the last 2 years.
Yeah, so knock yourself out. Do what you want to do. I'm not really sweating it, because the truth shall always set us free. But let's talk about some more amazing crap from our politicians. Let's talk about that, people. People want to talk about, like, well, what's your platform? What are you and Nicole up to? Well, honestly, our platform is, I told you so. Like, I don't know what else. And even Nicole doesn't even know what we're talking about, okay? So, you know me, I'm all over the place. But I wanted to share this post that I just got. So I just sent it to you in Messenger, Nicole, if you want to bring this up.
Okay, hold on. Let me get this.
And I just want to share with everybody, right here is what it says. Want to read that, Nicole?
Hold on. Voters and non-voters, this is the harsh reality. Madison County has the 3rd highest tax rate in the state. Indianapolis was number 1 in foreclosures in the nation. This was just reported in February 2026. Wow. The reasons given: rising property taxes, rising insurance rates, and rising utility bills. How are we going to attract new residents when we have all three of those, and our politicians continue to spend and take like drunken sailors. My opponent makes a living off selling insurance. You are voting for this. An educated society is very dangerous to a corrupt government. Do not vote for an income. I always get that word wrong. How do you say that?
Incumbent.
Incumbent. Okay. Do not vote for an incumbent. Vote for change. Vote for a new future. And then this is what comes with it. Nobody's vote counts more than yours unless you don't vote. Then everybody's vote counts more than yours.
And remember, we only have like 13 days left for people to register to vote. So again, please make sure you're talking to people and challenging yourself to register people to vote. And this is what I want people to know in Madison County. Right here, this is what's becoming a bigger and bigger problem is I think our politicians are competitors of
Bill's competitive.
Right? They want to beat out Marion County. They want to be the number one in foreclosures. They want to be the number one to drive out of the 92 counties. They want to be the first. Look at our utility bills that are going crazy in this county. It's
That's
off the chain.
It is.
So I just want people to know you keep voting for these people. This is what you're going to keep getting. So the choice is yours, right? I mean, I guess we all have to make a living, but what are you going to do when you have rising property taxes, you have rising utilities, you have, your insurance rates are rising? What's going to happen to us? And none of us are going to be able to live.
I mean, that's the downside. I mean, like we gotta, like what I would do. I'm a fiscally responsible kind of person. I know how to budget, and that's been my biggest thing is the budget. And I feel like there's a whole bunch of money that we are either missing, and they've got this stuff, like their rainy day, and how is all this, like when we went to the Indiana Gateway. That's a good. Let me go over there.
That's what I want everybody to know. So all this is rising, right? And then you go look at our elected officials, and what's rising for them? Their pay. They never forget to raise their pay. Now, isn't that something? That's like craziness. So I just want people to be fully aware of what's happening, what's going on, how this is all happening to us. And I think that, I think my platform is going to be the same it's been for 6 years. Let's just expose it all, right?
If it's like, what's that phrase? YOLO. You only live once.
You do.
What is on the website? We got countdown clocks on the website.
Right? Yeah. I mean, this is what's going to be so crazy. Now let me, because I got more. So everybody is aware that we are now going to get a county parks. DNR has approved it. We are getting it. And this thing is on warp speed.
But But my letter that I posted on my page said they only did the West End. But I saw a lady post some eagles, and there are some eagles down there somewhere because they were in the field. Anyway.
Well, we're on warp speed. I mean, this thing is just so off the chain. You guys have no idea just how off the chain this thing really is. Now, I want to bring some things to attention because I was out last week and there was so much I could post, but I'm going to tell you something. My daughters weren't having it.
I knew they were. I knew
they were not having this. They were not dealing with politics. They weren't having it. Okay. And let me explain something to everybody. My children rule the roost. Okay. So if I just want you to know that they think they're in charge to a point, But I will also tell you that my kids have earned it. They're both straight A students. They speak 3 languages. They are amazing children, and they will go change the world. So that is my soapbox, not just because they're my daughters, because Nicole has heard me go toe to toe with them. But I just want you to know they're very liberal. Like they don't understand all this fighting. They don't understand war. They don't understand. I mean, hell, do any of us understand war? So they're always questioning me, and they will say things all the time. But look at these salaries. These salaries are off the chain. Where you're not in the county salaries.
Well, no, for some reason I hit the city. I got
Yeah, you should do the county.
here. Okay, I put the county. Okay. And then I gotta go.
And these aren't small increases. I mean, let's look at the health department, Stephanie Mellinger for 2025. Look up her salary.
Okay, that was where I wanted to go, because when you go to look at the budgets, the health department is harder to find than any of the other ones. It's like it's not with the main group budget on this.
So
on
go
this
where's the
website.
job and title duties? Hit that.
Wait. Okay. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. So now maybe it's like on page 6. So up at the top, you see where it says you can change. Yeah, you hit 6 and see where that goes to. Or you can put the number in there, whatever you want to do. Okay. Corner, keep going. I don't know if they have it under county health department. They kind of put it in here weird.
No, that's fine. It is weird. Breakdown.
Turn the page. Well, just put Mellinger in there. It'll tell us what. Just type in Mellinger's name right there. Just her last name. Okay, here's Stephanie Mellinger. You see that? $88,651. Now remember that number. Somebody could type $88,651.20 for Mellinger's salary for 2025 in the comments. If you can type that. Now, I want to show you something else. So go back up and do the salary from highest to lowest.
So back to page 1.
Yeah, just right where it says compensation in 2025, hit those arrows. And that, yeah. Hit it again. Now, you see here, hey, go back to that last page.
I don't know if I can.
Yeah, just hit the compensation.
Just hit it?
Yeah. That $90 is to who?
Adrian McCoy.
So that's the funeral director that got charged with overcharging. The coroner's office hired her.
You got to be kidding me.
Look at that.
Oh, I got a story. That when my mom died, she got us, man. She got us. And
that's interesting. So anyways, okay, now let's go back to the highest paid. So just hit that arrow again. So for anybody who's wondering why Jonathan Culp is running, look at that. $165,000 is what he will be making, and then some.
That's why he wants the sheriff. It don't have nothing to do with law. He figures they'll train him. He'll go to training.
Yeah, look at the county engineer. She's the 3rd highest paid, and look at what she screwed up. We're all screwed every other way. She's at 111. Right?
Ooh.
Dispatch is getting paid.
What's this? Sorry, I'm getting behind on the comments, guys.
Look at Brian Williams. He's getting paid. He gets to double dip. He gets to be in charge of public defenders, and he has his own law practice. Sometimes I think that's a conflict of interest.
I saw him in a commercial, I think, on the Herald Bulletin.
So these are all just interesting. Now, here's what I want to do. Go back up there to make this 2020. Make this COVID. Make that 2020.
Okay. I'm glad you can remember all this stuff, Because once
Yeah.
you teach me, I remember it.
Yeah. And then go to view report.
Okay.
And then let's go from highest to lowest.
Here's your buddy Abbott.
Yeah, he's on there. Okay, now look at that. Scott Mellinger made $125,000 in 2020. So he's at Damon's already at 40,000. That's
Yeah.
a pretty good increase in your salary. I just want everybody to know that's a pretty good increase, right? Now, in 2020, let's see what Mellinger made because Alva put up here 88,651.20. Let's see what Mellinger made in 2020.
We have those spreadsheets we can pull out. Well, we don't have to bust
Well,
them
this
out.
is just easier.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's right. That's right. This is where we dupe the people. It wasn't Mellinger at that time. It was Grimes.
That's right. It was Grimes. 71. What? She gets an awful lot of vacations. Didn't they get to pay for her master's degree or something?
They're paying for doctorates right now.
Well,
Okay, so here you go. $71,542.91. Now listen, we've gone through COVID and everything. That's not a bad gig. Let's get a calculator. Let's see how much that's an increase in a 5-year period of time. So
I'll be right back.
Okay. Divided by. So we're looking at, she's had about a little over a $17,000 raise in 5 years. So 17,000, let's just say that, divided by 5. So she's going up $3,400 every year, but I don't think every county employee is, because remember, we've argued that. So she's had I'm going to say she's had, that can't be right. Oh yeah, I didn't put enough numbers in there. Hold on a second. Hold on, my daughter's texting me. That's who was trying to FaceTime me about a lawsuit. So, where is it? Listen, usually I have all this stuff. This wasn't on my agenda tonight to talk about, but we're talking about it because I'm tired of rising property taxes. And I'm not saying that employees shouldn't be paid. I'm not saying that at all.
Okay.
But
I'm
if
back.
you've got employees, okay, so what I'm getting is that's pretty, that might be right. I'm thinking it's too high, but these guys they're quite giving to each other.
Yeah, that's what I don't get. Like certain
So
departments,
she's had a 24% increase in her salary.
some departments get like babied and coddled, and some departments, like like what they did to you guys, was just. I mean, if I didn't,
I mean, she's had millions thrown at her, and like,
well, I
did everybody know that like the coroner's office was supposed to, 17,108 is the difference. The coroner's office was supposed to get part of that grant money, but she spent it before anybody could get to it. Now, what I really want to draw attention to is go back to the salaries.
I requested her $6 million ARPA funding that she got, and I don't remember anybody saying that she helped with the homeless community with that $6 million either.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. It's crazy. So if you go back, Grimes took that position in 2017. Go see what her salary was in 2017, and then you guys are really going to have a heart attack.
But if I would have lost 120,000 dirty needles in our community with the NEP program, I would have been fired. Okay.
Listen, in Madison County, The more horrible you do at your job, you are promoted.
It makes no sense to me. It's like it's like
Have you seen our commissioners?
truth.
I mean,
is
you don't pay
lie.
property taxes. You don't list your property taxes. And what happens?
Oh, you didn't get to see
Oh, you gotta
Gardner.
wait for it, Alvin. Nicole, bring the gateway back up.
I thought I did. Sorry. I'm on Gateway playing
Okay.
around.
Now go back to 2017.
Yeah, I got it. 17.
Okay, now do Mellinger.
Okay. Well, Mellinger's right here.
That
She
is
wouldn't have-
Scott.
She wouldn't have been Mellinger in 17.
Oh, Grimes.
She
Do
would have been
Grimes.
Grimes. So that's when I met her. Stephanie Grimes with the needle exchange program.
Since Alva's doing the math, I'm gonna make him do the math a little bit more here. Did you find her?
I typed it in and it's
Did you do view report?
hold on. It did something funky. There's Carrie. Carrie pointed that out the other day.
Oh, it's property taxes?
Yeah.
I'll have to ask him. I'll have to inquire about that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and you should see the health department, the board,
It's
they all
not,
got raises. They make $1,000 now. They were at $300. They now make $1,000 a year. And here's
Yeah.
the thing: I really feel all boards should be voluntary.
what?
Like we shouldn't be paying any board members at all, ever.
8,461.52.
Well, no, that's
That's just the
when she was administrator, but she should have two in there.
It only shows that one.
No, because she's worked for the health department for years.
Huh.
All right, so go back up here to the top. See where it says department? Categories this way. Take her name out.
And that's the other thing with this is
Now
if,
go to department.
if she used a different name,
No, it should now go to H. So I don't know, try page 7 or something. Just type in 7. Okay, so go to page 10.
wait. Oh. Okay. Health department.
No, she just had it under Department of Health. They change the names all the time. Okay, so you got to go back one page.
I don't know how you remember all that. Oh, it's because you've played on these pages more than everybody else. Oh, you and Kevin
Listen,
Smith.
I used to be an administrator and a dean, so I've done all this. Okay, go back another page. So it's page 8. Okay, there we go. Let's look at this here.
Dr. Wright. That's
Dr.
another
Wright.
story. Like I like Dr. Wright. He's never
Well,
rubbed-
the problem is that he's my business partner. They had a meltdown over. They thought he was giving me information. Well, no, I don't need anybody to give me information. You guys all look like you don't know what you're doing. It's pretty easy to pick up. Okay, so right there, they've got her in 2 lines. You see that? Health and health. So 37 and 84.
Wait.
So Alva, that's
See.
some math right there. $37,127.48
Troy
plus
Ave.
$8,461.52.
Okay, I
Right?
see her now.
So we're roughly at 45,000. So from 2017 until 2025, that's what, 8 years? Her salary is what? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And then I got to listen to the council say, what?
There's 37 and the 8, and then he put that's the
That's the craziness right there.
and what exactly? Okay, so they're given that's what she makes a year, and
That's
where
when she got promoted. I mean, if we want to be fair, then go to 2018 because she was in there the full year. I think she was in the full year in 2017, but we could go to 2018. It's going to give us a number for her. And you can just do Grimes because she'll have a full one this time.
Have you memorized these?
I know a lot of them.
I swear you memorized this
Okay,
stuff.
so now, so think about that. Just from 2017 to 2018, she went from 45 to 61. hmm
Who
And
was
so now
the head at that time? Or is this when she got
she
promoted?
replaced Steve Ford, who'd
Okay.
been there. She replaced Steve Ford. And let's see here. I'm looking for Alva's number. He might be doing the math. I'll let Alva do the math. It's late. I've been doing math all day.
I requested the paperwork for the ARPA funds, the RV, and the pole barn today.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. And I'm going to inquire about that, Carrie, that Kaczynski doesn't show his. I'm going to inquire about that because that's interesting. I didn't know that. And so at the end of the day, I'm just over the fact that I'm telling you right now, you're going to see foreclosures coming out of Madison County. And then you're going to see.
And I told, okay, so it was kind of funny. If anybody wants to go back and look at Thursday's episode, we did a mobile thing because the Tea Party had 4 candidates. And I did get to fussing with Linda Smith and Michelle Daniels. So some of it was caught on camera, but the Gardner meltdown was not. And
Gardner melts down all the time.
But I told him that the system that they've created with these property taxes and stuff, it's not for the people. It's not to help us keep our homes. And then he's saying, he's talking about all these millions of dollars and we got this and we got that. And I'm like, dude, some of us are super poor right now. And I would love to have that money done, do something in our community if we got that much money laying around. And why he keeps getting all the money for like the clock tower.
Exactly. And that's what's so sad. So they do know where all the pots of money are, but they're not putting it back towards the people, right?
That's upset.
So
That's what makes me mad.
Yeah, this is a big problem, right? Now, while we've got county issues going on, everybody is kind of aware of the problems that are going up in Alexandria, right?
That's upset.
So this
That's what makes me mad. What happened?
Yeah, this is a big problem. Can you hear me, Nicole? All right, I don't know what happened, Nicole.
I have something repeating. Hold on, I got to figure out. Okay, is that it?
Oh. So here's the thing up in Alexandria. Up in Alexandria, that's a big problem up there as well.
Oh, that is. I didn't get to go Friday.
Well, see, and that's a problem because people didn't get to see it. So it's a big fiasco. But let me tell people something. We need more people who are going to get out to these meetings and video because we can't possibly be everywhere all the time. We just can't.
We need a team. And if you are mobile and you have a phone that you can get to these meetings and you tell me that you're getting ready to go live, I can live stream you through our platform and put it anywhere. And we need people to go into the Pendleton town councils. We need people going to the LaPel town councils. We need Frankton, Elwood.
I'm getting information from every council that there's problems everywhere. Alva, the math on, she made like 45,000 back in 2017. And then she went to like 60,000 in 2018. And now she's at, what are you looking for? Now she's
just scrolling through your stuff because your page, you post so much information.
I know it's a lot of information, and I'm getting ready to really post some information.
I want people to look that you you're a very highly intelligent person, and you got all this stuff here for people to just pick through and see that we are
and educate yourselves,
and we're all about freedom. And it's not okay. Here's something else. Just because we're kind to Democrats doesn't make, or not just us, anyone. Just because somebody's kind to somebody of an opposite political party, it doesn't mean that we're that political party. Like me, myself, even as a combat veteran, I was taught to always stay neutral. Even as a kid, you don't talk about politics. You don't talk about religion, which I happen to talk about both now. So, oops. But point being, I lost my point. I squirreled. I looked at your
Okay.
video. Dang it.
So moving on.
Moving on. Where do you want to go?
So here's the issue up in Alexandria. I'd like to know from the people who are watching this, who is really responsible for the errors in Alexandria with all this money and the funds that are overdrawn? Is it A, Darcy Van Erman?
Do
Is
you
it
have
B, Mayor Todd Nasleroad? Is it
Oh,
C, all the
okay,
board members?
I just happened to
Or is it D, no one? Now, let me tell you something. Let me tell you what I want to read to all of you today, what I got. And these kind of messages, they make me irate. Okay? They make me irate. Let me tell you why. And I know the people are watching this who I was in this group text with, and they know I was irate. So let there be no mistake that I'm saying this on TV and I wasn't saying, let me see here. Let me pull it up on this group text.
I think
Here we go.
in Alexandria, it would be Darcy Van Erman. Is what
It's all of them.
Its checks and balances aren't working out.
Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. If that mayor had a sense in his head, and I like Todd. I really do. I like his wife. I like his daughter. I like them.
I've never met
But
him.
he should have turned this over to the state police. And he should have turned this over to the state police the very first time there was a state board of accounts problem. That's where this should have gone. Because somebody needs to go to jail over this.
The stuff
Okay?
in Alec.
Yes. And Alec, now listen to this. Good morning, ladies. Just heard some interesting talk that I thought I would share.
Uh-oh.
You may want to see if you can talk with Chip McFerrin, who is the township trustee. Now, remember, Chip McFerrin was a Democrat, okay? He was a Democrat.
Pulled his voter card.
Yeah, and he, for 40-some years, and then wanted to be a Republican, and Russ signed off on it. And it's the same year that I got challenged because I'd only voted once as a Republican, because I only voted once. And so, and yes, I am ashamed of that, but you know what? I own it and I admit it. So anyways, Chip McFerrin wanted to run as a Republican, so he's running as a Republican. So listen to this. And I think Chip's a nice guy. I have only met him once. He avoids me like the plague. I don't know why. Chip, I'm a very nice person. You really should like me. When Chip took over as trustee from Amy Hood, now Amy Hood's a Democrat. She was in charge of the Democrat Party for a short period of time, and then she resigned over some health issues. Her husband likes to get on, Greg Hood, he likes to get on and chastise me and tell me how I don't belong in Alexandria, that I shouldn't really speak, and blah, 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 blah. Well, of course, because he's protecting his wife, right? And again, I'm just telling you their party lines. It's not why it's a 90% increase, Alba, isn't it? Crazy. Tell me about Stephanie's salary. Wasn't somebody put that all up? Okay, so when Chip took over as trustee for Amy Hood, she had the checkbook a mess. She had grant money that was going to be lost if it wasn't spent. He cleaned up that mess. As one of Darcy's good friends, she brings her to the water department. Since Amy has been in there, a lot of people have left. The Board of Works just approved to move the part-time person to full-time. That's not going to fix their problems. That's going to cause them to spend more money.
Yeah.
She couldn't manage the trustee money. Maybe that's part of the water department's problem as well. What do you think? I don't know. I'm not really from Alexandria, but what I will tell you is, it gets better. Let me finish what she says to me. Again, just sharing. Heard that secondhand from someone that I feel is pretty reliable. And then, of course, we've got other people posting to protect Darcy. Whatever. It's because they're related to Darcy. So, maybe it's too late, but the people are now listening. It's never too late, people. It's never too late. It's never too late to get involved. But here's what the problem is, right? And so this was my response. Someone needs to ask for records from back then. The fact that Chip doesn't speak up makes him worthless. He's part of the problem. I said, I wonder if the books were a mess when Chip took over. Why didn't Chip speak up? I mean, would somebody like to tell me why he hasn't spoken up? He should have spoke up. He should have made it public. So then I get, well, he may have, but really, who would he speak up to? Not even sure who that position reports to. Who it reports to? These are elected officials. They report to us. Why isn't this stuff all up on a page where we can all see it? In this day and age, who do they report to? I know she had a regular checkbook when I was running some of the meetings. I laughed because she would bring that to the meetings. And then she's like, well, what records would we ask for? What grants would we ask for? I really think he just focused on cleaning up the mess and moving on. Moving on for what? At the taxpayer's expense? Because somebody has to fix this. Somebody has to pay for this. And to me, that's more of covering it up. So he may have said something, but at the time, Amy wasn't doing anything else once he won and took over. If that's going to be the case, then why don't you just resign? If you can't do your job, but you're still collecting a check. I mean, this is the problem where I get so frustrated. And I love these people I'm on a group text. I don't think anything ill of them, but it just makes me so irate. And, but then they say, well, I don't think the trustee does much with the city of Alexandria. The person told me that Chip was saying they were a mess. And he was the one that found all the errors. Well, of course, because, you start bringing in people who haven't been there and who aren't part of a certain situation. This is what it becomes. So here was my response, the lovely, kind way I do stuff. You're kidding me, right? Who does he answer to? He answers to the voters. It's called transparency. And because people don't speak up, people like Lisa and I look like assholes. And that's the truth. And then we get berated on social media because we speak the truth. Well, how is that fair to us? So the person says, well, I get that. But just thinking, if you took over the job, where would you voice those concerns? Where do I voice them right now? I'd hold the thing. I'd show you guys what the checkbook looked like. I would do everything in my power to get more people involved and say, watch what you're voting for. That's what I would be doing.
That's what I want to do.
I mean, I'll tell you right now, does anybody honestly think I'm going to the State House and I'm going to sit there without my live feed on? Does anybody think I'm going to go down there and I'm not going to have my laptop on my computer or the phone's recording this and I'm not going to be giving you my 2 cents the entire time through session? You better believe I am. And am I going to have you guys joining in and giving me yours? Absolutely. Why? Because your thoughts should be my voice.
Right.
That's absolutely what I'm going to do because I want to hear what you have to say. And when I go to that podium, I'm going to say, I don't know, I'm over here watching what these people are saying on live feed, and they're not okay with this. This is what their thoughts are. And when they say, well, you can't think or speak for yourself, that's not what I was voted to do. I was voted to speak for the people. I was voted to share you their thoughts. Sure, I will put in what I believe, but my people have the right to speak.
Yeah, I don't understand. I just don't get it. That what I've been
I don't get it either.
What I've been taught and how it is are two different things. And it's like,
well, and here's the thing. Why didn't he turn it into the State Board of Accounts? So now I've got to go back and pull the trustee stuff for the city of Alexandria from the trustee. I got to go back and do that and see what's going on there because there should have been something in there. Right. So They say, well, Chip's the only trustee up there from what I understand. Yes, we only have one trustee. That is true. Monroe Township trustees board members are Richard Thompson, Sarah Collis, Valerie Gerald, and Jennifer Ward. But some of these people are also brought over on the Board of Works at the City of Alexandria. So, like Sarah Collis, why isn't she bringing that up? She's an elected official up there. Why isn't she bringing it up in the other Board of Works meeting? I mean, there's just a lot. And then they talk about, well, these people are good people. Yeah, they might be great people, but we need people who aren't afraid to share the information with the public. And that's where we are failing. We continue to vote in people who are like, I don't know that I want to say that. I'm not sure that I want those consequences. Where is there ever consequences for the truth? Eventually, the truth will set us free because they can't possibly keep up with all the lies. Their time will eventually run out. And so, what I'm saying and what is most important for people to understand, we have to get more involved. I cannot win this race unless the voters get involved. I can't possibly knock on enough doors. I need you to call your people, and then I need you to ask your people to call their people.
Right. We need to do it like a pay it forward type
Absolutely.
deal. And then we're anti-corruption. That's
and Karen, she's like, please refrain from using official when speaking about public servants. Officials is servant's duty. Listen, I don't disagree with you, right, Karen? But here's what becomes the problem. The problem becomes you're an educated voter. When we start moving those words around, people can't always follow us. And so it's very difficult, right? And listen, maybe, Karen, we could do is write a bill and change it from elected officials to elected servants. Right there. And that's what I'm talking about. That's what should be happening all through that state house. Even when the officials are running, or servants are running the county council meetings, the commissioners are running those meetings, they should have a live feed up, and you should be able to feed in there, and they should be addressing this on the side of when you guys are making these comments. That's exactly what should be happening.
Right. And they have a TV in the hallway for county council, right? I have never seen it on.
Well, that's what I mean. And nobody is making them do the right thing. Right? Nobody is making them. Oh, make sure you ask them, Karen, if they're registered to vote. Because like almost every person who comes into my clinic, I'm like, are you registered to vote? I had several new patients today. I'm like, you registered to vote? And even these new patients, they said, we had no idea you were political. We're going to go home and get on your Facebook today. Listen, I get to have door knocking at my place. Today I had somebody say to me, I'd vote for you, but you're not in my district. I said, where do you live? They said, Anderson. I said, I'm District 25. It's the whole county. Like, what are you talking about? They're like, oh, I didn't know. And I said, well, make sure you get to, get the voting. His wife, she's like, I'm absolutely voting. She's like, I had no idea about you. And so these are the things. Oh, and by the way, everybody, tomorrow afternoon, signs are in.
Oh, yeah.
Coming to a street corner near you, Catherine Callahan.
And Nicole.
So you got to work the other street corner. Get off my street corner.
I know. I saw some spots. I've been spying spots as I'm driving around.
I'll take east-west. You take north-south.
Okay, I got some family up north.
Right. And here's the thing.
And south, actually.
Nicole and I are doing this for you.
And free. And we do not get paid to get attacked the way that these people do. And then what
But you know what, Nicole? We got big shoulders.
Yeah, but this one, as soon as this one tactic goes through, I'm telling you, this Darvo, as soon as they start using this Darvo tactic, I'm out. Like, and a man at that. Like, I'm used to girls doing the, some of this stuff, but having a guy do the Darvo, deny, attack, reverse, victim, offender.
Listen,
Yeah, no thanks.
these men who get on here, they're always the victim. I've never seen anything like it. And I'm just going to say this. I can't imagine what their wives are like.
Did you want to talk about the employee handbook at all?
Oh, wait, yeah. Did you want to bring up that email that I wrote?
Where'd you send it?
I sent it to Heads Up.
Okay.
And you can bring it up. Let's bring it up because I'm sure Ryan Troub is watching this. And I want to show everybody that I have been working on this, this whole Ryan Troub. Like, I've tried to give him a number of outs. Like, I have tried to work with this guy, but this guy just doesn't seem to get it.
It's 2 years now. Like, I have asked him for the documents. Show me your documents. And if you have it, then we will talk about it all day long. But
listen, American Farmer, I don't know who you are. I do not know who you are. Listen to me. Nobody said he wasn't a good person. Okay?
I thought you said he was a good person.
The question is why didn't he bring it all to light? And here the other thing is, if he's such a good person, with the finances being a mess like they are, why doesn't he step up and say, hold up, you guys? Because when I took over, Amy Hood, I took over for her and it was a mess. Now it's a mess again. So maybe we need to start looking, in another direction and not just at Darcy alone. Maybe we've got several players in this thing. So a good person, a good servant would be stepping up right now and would be saying, what's going on? So obviously, American Farmer, you know this person. You know Chip McFerrin well enough. I have tried to approach Chip. He's very cold towards me for whatever reason. I don't know why. I have a feeling he's taking advice from Russ because Russ signed off on him, and that's what people do, which I think that's a poor public servant, if you ask me. I don't think that's a good person. I think the person should, I even walked over to try to shake his hand, and he looked the other way. I don't know what you want me to do. Do good people do that? Do good servants do that? I don't know that they do. So there's only so much a good person can do. Really? I think there's no limit to what a good person can do. No limit at all. And so instead of taking this as a negative thing, or you think it's an attack on Chip McFerrin, I don't think that that's what this is. How about asking Chip McFerrin to come to the table and sharing his thoughts about what's going on? Okay? Because it shouldn't always have to come down to the constituents doing it. It shouldn't have to be the people who are volunteering their time. This would be like, okay, well, Karen's on here saying what she wants to say, right? And Karen's a good person, but then Karen wants me to say everything for her. What? No, Karen can speak for herself. She can be, and that's the same thing for Chip. Speak, be heard. And this is why this continues. And this is what makes me furious. Why do we keep defending the behavior? And why don't we demand transparency? Instead of American Farmer saying this about Chip McFerrin, how about him saying, I'm going to go talk to Chip McFerrin tomorrow and find out why he can't get transparent? That's what I think. And there is always room for improvement. Verbiage matters, delivery matters. Karen, here you go. Say what you mean what you say, just don't say it mean. Well, that last part, I never intended anything to sound mean. But maybe that person was a lot more sensitive.
Catherine, I figured something out about us that makes us different than everybody else. And I think it's because both of us didn't really have a dad growing up. And so most of the people that I feel like we fight with come from a different background. That's why they don't really understand us. And then they take us wrong. Like,
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. And I just want people to understand is I'm just trying to put out the fire because I've got 10 more waiting in line to take care of. I mean,
that ain't a lie. I mean, it's like, boom,
what
boom,
did Danny
boom.
say? Right. Danny says truth may hurt. And then Karen says truth may hurt. And then Danny says, yes, but those titles seem to think that means they have power. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. They believe once they're elected, they are untouchable people. And I'm telling you right now, that's exactly what Darcy Van Erman's thinking. I'm elected. You can't fire me. Well, you're right, but you've got to be able to do your job.
Look at what happened with Shelton. And I'm really upset that they haven't went and tried to investigate Culp, because Linda Smith was the person who replaced Shelton when she was forced to step down for the same thing that Jonathan Culp has, this weird thing he's got going on with his email. So it's no different. So if I was Shelton, I would look into what they're doing and I would say something. And I think they owe her a public apology for that.
Yeah. And so this is what I wrote on Ryan Troub, and
So
we'll look at the.
Is that the right one?
Yeah, and we'll look at the documents following it. But like it says, and this is Ramey and Graham are the county attorney. Ramey is the HR person. And it says, I am writing to formally address a serious concern regarding the conduct of county employee Ryan Troub. Now, this was back, when was this one written?
Okay, let me go up. October
2025. So this was recently. Okay. And I got a response, and all I got was, it's been dealt with. Well, clearly it hasn't been, because here we are again. It says, Mr. Troub has publicly claimed that I was forced to quit and that I sucked at my job, and that was in the coroner's office. I am requesting clarification as to what basis or documentation he believes supports these statements, as they are entirely false. Please refer to the attached screenshots, which show these comments were made during regular business hours while Mr. Troub was employed with the Madison County. Given his role representing the outreach program, this behavior is both unprofessional and damaging to the credibility of the department. This is not the first instance in which Mr. Troub has made false or inappropriate remarks. If he is relying on a documentation to support his statements, I am requesting that those records be produced for review. According to page 31, section 2.19 of the Madison County Employee Handbook, and further detailed in Appendix 4, pages 126 to 128, employees are expected to adhere to standards of conduct that prohibit harassment, bullying, and dissemination of false or confidential information. Specifically, under the non-harassment policy on page 127, statements such as I sucked at my job and I was forced to quit are defamatory and potentially a breach of confidentiality. If these remarks originated from internal information, it raises further concern regarding whether confidential personnel information is being inappropriately shared. It is also evident that Mr. Troub and several members of Mrs. Mellinger's staff frequently engage in online harassment and intimidation of Madison County citizens without supporting documentation. Right. This ongoing behavior reflects poorly of the county and creates a hostile environment for residents and employees alike.
And we're not going to their stuff. They're coming to ours.
On our platform.
We're not even allowed to speak on their platform.
I would like to know what form or procedure I need to complete to file a formal complaint regarding the employee's conduct, which I have never received. Keep scrolling down.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yes, policies pertain to employees. This guy's an employee. Thank you for your prompt attention to this matter. I look forward to your guidance on the next steps. Please note when I post on social media, I support all my posts with research documentation and not subjective comments. Sincerely. And then I had all the
for some reason these aren't coming through for some reason on this. These links, they're PNG.
I'll just see if I can get it to you. So the question becomes with all of this, let me see if I can send it this way, is these people are doing this on our dime.
All day today. Troub's been on here all day today fighting with people constantly about me and Catherine.
I mean, I don't understand why there is no accountability for any of this.
And how you gonna be at work and sit there, like, because her husband, he might run again. We don't even. She could run for something.
I mean, let me ask you all this. Is it fair when we have the drug problems that we have? I just sent you the email again, see if it will come up. Is it fair when we have all the drug problems we have and we have all this grant money coming in that he's allowed to abuse all of that, abuse being paid on the clock, allowed to abuse citizens? I mean, if you were a person, here, right here, you mean the award-winning health department? No other health department does everything ours does. Really? You're so upset that you sucked at your job so much that you were forced to quit. I did. I was. I had no idea I was forced to quit. That's news to me. Here's this great English. They win it. Go back out. Go. They winning awards while you pass misinformation. What misinformation? Let's talk about all the great work you did when you were in there. You quit in Madison County once, and do you even live in Madison County now? I mean, what's your point here, Ryan? You just said I was forced to quit. And then you come back this last week and say that I'm the one who messed up. Well, how can I mess up when I wasn't even there on the errors you're talking about? I mean, you make no sense. Now scroll down.
Hold on. So, Karen, I'm not quite sure why they don't let me speak on their platforms, but it's not just me. It started with me, and then they made, which tomorrow I'm going to send an APRA request for the county resolution or ordinance that says that they're allowed to shut their pages down. But the city of Anderson and the county departments have all, if they have a post they don't want you to talk on, they will shut it down for everybody. So it's not just me.
And here's the thing. That needs to be turned in because it's a First Amendment violation. That all needs to be turned in.
Well, they never do anything for me. So I have fun calling them out at the like meetings, like the Tea Party. Like it's a safe wall for me to speak. And, there's people there that can hear me and they let me talk. So I like going to places like the Tea Party and questioning our servants, our public servants who want our vote.
Karen, we learn from you. We want to embrace our community, right? We are changing our verbiage and sharing with that. So go down, keep going.
I think this is all me. Okay, there you go.
So, and I say that looks like they have too much staff. They can be on social media, right? I mean, is this ghost employment? I'm people tell me what this is, because there's so much work to do with the drug addiction in Madison County. Why are they on social media and have so much time? I mean, let me explain to everyone, while they're on social media, we probably have another overdose going on.
We've had like 3 or 4 overdoses over by the Christian Center in the last couple of weeks. And here's the other kicker. Mellinger is on the board at the Christian Center.
That's what I mean. It's so this is just the nepotism, the sleep your way to the top. It's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable, right? I mean, this just gets so out of control. It's not even funny. So what I want to share, let me see if I can show you one more, and then we're gonna be done with
his 15
Troub.
minutes of fame.
I mean, I'm just over. I'm trying to find you the article. Um,
I'm surprised John Dyer hasn't popped in, but he could be those fake accounts.
well, I mean, listen, anybody who's out there who wants me to go over an autopsy report or a toxicology report, I am more than happy to do it. Whether it was my case or it's not my case, I am happy to do that. I'm happy to share that. I'm happy to do anything about that. So you just let me know and I will be happy to go over that with you. Let me see if I can find you this one other article.
It's a guy messing with us, Carrie. It's another man. It's crazy. They just come out of the woodworks.
He's the peer recovery supervisor, Carrie, at the health department.
And I feel like if you're in one of those types of positions, you should be able to control your emotions, your anger, and your trauma. And I accidentally muted myself, but he's having some type of trauma. It's like a trauma calendar, and he just goes off at the same time, around the same time frame. Certain things happen, and he's pointing to when Catherine stepped down in November of 2022, and he's trying to blame her for stuff that she didn't do, and that's just, it hurts me.
All right, so this is, let me see here. Let me send this to you. He's got to go watch Bilberry.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the final thing I want to say about this with Troub. So if you're reading any of this stuff, all this is what I want to say. Open that email I just sent to you. Okay, this was the article upon my resignation. So let's look at each one of these pictures.
Okay.
This is Callahan resigns as chief deputy coroner. Okay, it says Catherine Callahan. What's the date on this thing?
Well, the actual date is May. Well, no,
this was November.
Okay, so
22.
The actual, is that the one where you resigned?
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's November 30th, 2022 is when that
Okay, and I think I was already out of there before this went public, like a week before or something. Says has submitted her resignation as chief deputy in the Madison County Coroner's Office. Okay. Now, I did the right thing. I was going to stay until the end of the year. Dr. Abbott came in and turned all my stuff off. So I couldn't complete anything. I couldn't finish up any files. I couldn't do anything. He just took it all. So what's the next part of the article? The next image.
Okay.
It says coroner Dr. Abbott confirmed Wednesday that Callahan had resigned in a text message.
Sorry. I was trying to get it. Oh, there. Found it.
In a text message, Callahan confirmed she had resigned and said Abbott may provide additional information. Now, this was his response of me. Catherine was the driving force behind moving the coroner's office through the COVID pandemic, reestablishing relationships with local police and fire departments, and keeping the coroner's office deputies working as a cohesive unit. Abbott said in a text message, "We wish her well in her life's journey." Abbott would not provide a reason for the resignation. A new chief deputy.
I'm so sorry. I was trying to get it. Okay.
Has not been named. Callahan worked diligently during the 2020 primary election. Go ahead and turn it.
For Abbott, who defeated Noah Boesel
in the primary. He went on to defeat Daniel Dennehy noon in the general election. Callahan has been the ongoing dispute with the Madison County Council for the past 2 years concerning funding of the coroner's office, the need for a county morgue, and on-call pay for the deputies. Abbott was employed by Callahan at Wright Family Practice in Lapel, which she owns. He left the practice last month, and next year will start at Indiana University Health in Daleville. He is no longer there. Callahan sought to be a delegate for the Republican convention earlier this year and was challenged for the ballot. What's the next one? Russ Willis, chairman of the local Republican Party, declined to sign the waiver that would have placed Callahan on the ballot. Now, granted, that year he signed off on 6 Democrats. This past year, Callahan was an active supporter of the Republican Party candidates John Beeman, who I will not be supporting, period. County Sheriff plus Jody Nork for the District 3 seat on the Madison County Council and Bethany Keller for District 1. Beeman, Nork, and Keller were all elected in the November general election. So I do have some help there in helping people get elected. But for the people who are watching who have not been up to date, is Beeman told me to pay the wrong person for the reward. And he never came clean as to why he made me do that. And so that's shameful in that aspect. And so I will not support somebody who cannot tell the truth. I won't do it. And even the lady who he told me that I had to pay, she sent me a message and she said, they just said that because I stayed in touch with them over the past couple of years, that I should be entitled to that reward. But no, I didn't. I wasn't the person who turned in Sumner. So that's why I will not be supporting Sheriff Beeman, and I don't believe anybody should be. And people can be mad at me all they want, but you have to say that's a problem.
That is a huge problem, and I'm waiting for.
So I'm going to stand on my morals when it comes to that, because that is just wrong. And it's sad. No, Karen, we still don't have a morgue, but we have a $900,000 pole barn. Now, could Stephanie Mellinger use that kind of money for a morgue? Absolutely. I only needed $450,000 to build the morgue, and she could have put it in that pole barn. And she could have had her own area in there. Plus, she could have had the morgue. For $900,000, she could have had both. And you know what else she could have had? She would have had 2 departments paying on that pole barn instead of just the health department. She would have had, because we would have had to share in utilities and all the other things. But no, that's not how Stephanie Mellinger works. There's nothing about Stephanie Mellinger that works for the people or works for the best for the people. Because honestly, if she was this true advocate of public health and public safety, wouldn't she have the mentality? Let's learn from the dead to protect the living. Let's work with the coroner's office.
That's a good point. Touche.
We think about it, people. This just makes no sense, but it does. Because we have a health officer, or not a health officer, we have a health administrator who's running around, who's more about materialistic things than actually the entrenchment of making humans healthier. Somebody please tell me how that pole barn has made you healthier.
Or how many times have they gotten new vehicles in the last couple of years?
Well, that's the other thing. I mean, the vehicles are a big problem. Everybody knows that Ryan Troub was transporting his children in the vehicle, had car seats in there all the time, had cigarette burns on all the upholstery. The car had to go in for repair, and it cost thousands and thousands of dollars to repair it because he destroyed it. We paid, I don't know how much money in fuel fees for that car, and then oil changes, tires, because it was being used as a family car. And nobody has a problem with this. And you want to say that I'm lying? I mean, Tiffany Denton got on there and said, great minds think alike. I quit driving all the way up to, where is that place? It's an ice cream place up by Taylor University.
I have no clue.
That's where she was driving all the way to and from up there by Taylor University. That's where she lives. That's the county she lives in. And her son works in the health department. I don't know if he still does now, but as a year ago, her son was working in there. There were all kinds of problems. It's Ivanhoe's, yes. So think about that travel all the way back and forth on a county vehicle. How much were we paying in gas? There's no reason in this county, when you look around and you see our water the way it is, you see as blighted as this county is, that they shouldn't have to drive to the health department, the pole barn, sign out the vehicle, put the mileage, and then sign it back in. And they can do that from 8 to 4. There's no reason. I mean, let me just say this. The Elwood office doesn't even open till what, like 9 o'clock? Because they have to come here to the health department of the county, screw off, and then go to Elwood and lose an hour? And it's only open till like what, 1 or 3? And oh, don't worry, because they're going to get an hour lunch break. That's not how you manage it. And the next person who gets on and says, if Catherine thinks she can do it better, she should start her own business. Well, here's a newsflash. Catherine has her own business. And so that's, this is how, and that's the other thing. People are telling me, well, Crime Stoppers does this. Yeah, Crime Stoppers, if the person doesn't come forward within 90 days, Crime Stoppers doesn't pay. It says on there, it is the responsibility of the person who turned in the individual to follow up and get paid.
And what did we tell you? Brianna Davis actually found the daughter on Reddit. It was one of the kind of
it wasn't the detectives who found her.
Yeah,
it was Bree and Jamie Lynn who found her.
Yeah,
right.
Bree
and
was
reached
going
out
on.
to her.
Yeah, because I forget, she typed something in. Next thing you know, she's got all this information about this daughter.
Yeah.
And she said the story seems like Sumner's. And so she kind of put some feelers out there. And so technically there was a team of us that helped figure out some things. And her and Megan had definitely talked to her, the daughter. And then a year and a half later, it's the sister that didn't even know there was a bounty.
Right.
She just knew it wasn't right.
And Danny's so right. Like Danny said, the person who turned him in wasn't a person. It was the police department. He was caught on a flock cam.
Yeah, the flock cam got him.
And so that's what makes me so mad. And then you get people like Troub and Tim Green, Joey Hustler, Steve Hart. I don't know. There's crazy ones that get on there, and they're all these men, and they're like, "Well, you didn't pay your reward. You didn't keep your word." I kept my word.
Yeah, we're still waiting to see if they paid her somehow with like the commissary funds, and then wanting that money to pay, wanting that 25 to go in their bank account, because if they get busted, and that's why you need to put me in, because
you'll have access to all the books. Yes. That's what people don't understand. If they don't put you in, we're never going to get the access we need to these records.
Right.
And it's the same with me. And here's the thing. Same with, Lisa Summers. Put her in the clerk's office, and I bet you we see all kinds of different outcomes in the elections moving forward. I'm just telling you right now. And if Linda wins, and I'm not promoting Stephanie May Stanis, right? Because she's a Democrat, so I'm not allowed to, because I'm a Republican. But I'd like to see the showdown between Stephanie and Lisa, because in that one, it's a win-win no matter how we turn it.
Yeah,
because both of them are going to ignite it on fire.
We have, like, this year alone, we had good candidates in 2024. I'm not gonna lie. Between Republicans had I think a better pick, but this year both sides have some good people in the race.
They do. I'm going to tell you, that Democrat race is looking better and better by the minute. There are some very good Democrats.
They stepped up on their own, I think, without having somebody.
They have.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to watch as well. And again, I'm never going to be able to say vote straight. I'm always going to say vote for the best candidate.
And vote, vote for the right.
You have to. You don't have a choice.
Don't wing it.
So, yeah. So it'll be very interesting, but I encourage people to get out there and share information. It is a sad day in our times when we don't see people who want what's best for our community and what's best for the people. And it's really sad when elected officials really are only here to serve themselves.
Yeah. So, if you get into it and you really start talking to people, I don't understand this whole almost like silence thing. I thought we used to have more debates, and it seems like the older I'm getting, the less debates people want to get into. And I'm over here like, let's get it on. Let's debate some topics. Let's do like they used to do back in the day. No, I get blocked. I'm blocked by almost every elected official. I think they've unblocked me now though, because I'm running and they've been spying my page because I've been seeing their names pop up. But anyway.
So that's what we're talking about tonight. Tomorrow, I don't even know what we'll be talking about because I'm getting flooded with information. So these little things came up. Again,
Oh, yeah.
It's up to the people to hold them accountable. And there is a picture that I would love to post, but I never post it because people would take it the wrong way.
They take everything that we do the wrong way.
And it says, if the truth shall kill them, let them die. Nothing in there is about harming physically a person. It's about sharing the truth. And it deserves to be shared. And I am honestly very sad that over my last 6 years of being involved in this, that some great people are no longer involved because it became too exhausting. Great people. But I just can't let this go because we all deserve better. And we'll see what happens come May 5th. We'll see if cheating takes place, which I got a strong feeling it's going to. I'm starting to think that my race might become a draw, meaning that it may be somewhat in like a tie. And then the chair has to choose who gets that seat. And I'm just telling you right now, this county should be an uproar if that should happen. So that's kind of what I'm starting to think about my race, because I don't think they're going to get it quite right on how many ballots to manipulate. I want to tell everybody that today is March the 23rd. And can you go, Nicole, to the Madison County Election Board website? I believe there is a special meeting on Thursday, March 26th. And there have been so many complaints against Jonathan Culp that they are going to hear this case out. And we need to get that up so we can get people to go. There's no way I can go. I'll see if I can get somebody to go and put it on Facebook Live. But that is a meeting that people really need to go to. I'd love to see a sheriff's debate. I hear that Larry Savage is trying to coordinate one. Does it say it there on the election?
I mean, she looks cute in this picture, but
no, she doesn't.
No, when I look at
that's not how she looks.
But
so,
when I look at
doesn't.
it as a soldier perspective, I had a funny joke. I don't think it's for polite society, so I gotta keep that to myself.
Oh, it's at 10 a.m. Somebody says it's at 10 a.m. Is it not on the site?
Oh, sorry. Let's see. I got to making a joke in my head. Let's see. Where's it go? The events. Wait. I know it was on here. Research on this particular website.
That's what I mean. She makes it so difficult. Oh yeah, you got to watch that video. That is like hilarious.
I'm
watching it right now.
I did one of these, and then I complained to the EAC. I sent emails to 3 of them, and I haven't heard anything back. But I'm telling you, I don't care if they told my statutes of limitations or not. I still have not been adjudicated with my election complaints, and that is a violation of my constitutional rights. And then it violates everybody else too in the process. So you want me to play that?
No, I don't. I want you to find this meeting and when it's going to go, because it's this week. And that room should be packed with voters. I don't care if you're going to say a word or not, but it should be packed to show them that this is absolutely ridiculous what is going on. That's what I mean. You cannot find anything on this site that encourages people to attend meetings.
This, I'm telling you, under construction. Okay, part of the HABA.
Okay.
Act, we're supposed to have a working complaint process. We don't have one. Okay, so it's on Thursday. Here. Okay, there it is. No, that's
February 26th.
That's February. Okay, let's see. This sometimes tells us election board. And I think that said March. I don't want that. Share this.
That's what I'm saying. If we, the experienced people, have a hard time finding this stuff, just imagine what the inexperienced people have.
That's what I'm like. Okay, so you brought up a good point, and then I already knew how to file my APRAs because I filed several in the last year or more, probably since 2020. And I filed a bunch today, but it's really confusing, and it's only a hard copy that you can get a hold of if you're lucky, and you got to get a hold of Jeff Graham, the attorney, and then there isn't a link on here for us to get to him. So you just have to know a guy that knows a guy that has the access to his email to be able to request one. I think it should be readily available on the website. I mean,
all right. So did we find the
right here? It's March 26th at 10 a.m. So it's Thursday.
Where'd you find it at?
I went to the live feed.
Oh, so you have to go to the live meetings in order to see that. So click on that.
And it should be on their actual pages. And if I was getting to play with this website, it would be way better. That's just saying. What do you want me to look at?
So click on that election board. What happens when you open that up?
Well, they don't feel like they have to put an agenda or anything up here.
I know, but does it open up and does it make it a bigger?
No.
Okay. So I'll make a post, and it's at 10 a.m. So March 26th at 10 a.m. So I hope people will go to that. I'll make a post to see if we can get more people motivated to go to that. It's a big one. So anyways.
Oh, here, that's what it does. I didn't realize. So sometimes, Catherine, when I'm looking for the tabs, you got to tell me that you can't see my page. I forget that it opens new pages on me.
Yeah. So that's kind of the story. That's it for tonight. We will talk soon again. And then I guess on Thursday at 2 and 4, they got election poll worker training at the courthouse. So that's not posted anywhere. So this is kind of just so everybody knows what's going on. We'll keep you all posted. Thank you for everybody who always gives me information. And I am just sharing it. Tim Funk, yes, you need to go. If you are watching this right now, Tim, you need to be there at 10 a.m. on Thursday. It's the 26th. That needs to be on live feed. You have a huge following. We need more people to get it on their feeds. So I hope that he will go and put that on there. And Nicole, if you're going, but I just can't. Doc Wright's out this week, and so I'm the only coverage in our office. So for everybody, thank you for tuning in. Signs will be in tomorrow afternoon. I will start getting those distributed, and you know what? Let's just have fun. So thank you for watching, and we'll talk soon. We'll see you at another time. Nicole, it's all you.
The Adams County Sheriff kicked down my door. Then I heard the glass spray. They found no kidnapping victims, just some lemon pound cake. Mama's lemon pound cake. It tastes so nice. wanna put down his gun and cut him a slice.
Of what? Of what?
Lemon pound cake. He wanna put down his glide. Lemon pound cake. Trending on TikTok. Lemon pound cake. He's a family guy. Lemon pound cake. Got the munchies because he got hot. Lemon pound cake. Pound cake.